Wouldn't you know it, as I was editing this video, Jasper released another video going into detail about how he, I guess, met his new Filipina girlfriend. So I tacked on the response to that at the end here, so you're going to want to stick around and watch that as well.
Like, I'm in Alona Beach with my girl right now, and she paid for the room. She paid for us to go to a resort. She paid for us to go on a tour. So, you know, if a girl's like 50-50 in it with you, there's a serious chance that she is very attracted to you.
Basically, you know, he just FaceTimed me and was very intent on having an explicit conversation of a very sexual nature, as he is often wont to do. It's kind of a thing that he likes to do, which is to, you know, demand FaceTimes from me and insist upon having a very, you know, sexually charged conversation to his benefit. And unfortunately, you know, I allowed that to happen, and I did not know that he had a girlfriend, or allegedly had a girlfriend, or, you know, was saying that he had a girlfriend at the time. I found that out hours later, after he abruptly hung up on me. And after, you know, basically he got what he wanted out of the conversation, and I was, you know, sort of hoping to just talk to him as a friend, you know, ask how he was doing, how his holiday was and everything. And he just kind of just hung up. I mean, which he's done before and many times, unfortunately on more than one occasion in the past. And so, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I was disappointed and angry. And so that frustration led to me finding his YouTube channel. And at the time, the video was posted 3 days prior of him talking about that quote unquote crazy experience that he had, you know, purportedly had, involving his girlfriend, his very attractive girlfriend. Lest we forget.
My very attractive girlfriend, my girl, my very attractive half-dressed girlfriend, my girl, my half-dressed, very attractive girlfriend. I have a Filipina and I'm with a Filipina.
Well. Looks like things are finally catching up with Jasper. Here's the thing about people who constantly lie. They seem to not understand that the truth will eventually come out. That you can only twist and skew and try to bend reality so much before things break and unravel. And some people are better at this than others, but no matter what, in the end, the truth will still come out. Now, I have a few things that I would like to talk about here, and it really will boil down to this. And you can get the short version, or you can stick around for the long version, right? So the short version is, either Jasper has cheated on this new, elite, attractive, high-earning, God-tier Filipina that he's talking about, or this woman doesn't exist and he's a liar. So either Jasper is a liar or a cheater. Now let me give some context to the clip that you just heard. I have people reach out pretty frequently to me through email. I have people reach out with saying they have information, saying that they'd like to me to cover certain things, that they have some additional context to add. I get a lot of this, and there's really no way to verify whether information is true or whether it's not. And just, you know, there's some crazy people here that try and just stir things up just for the hell of it. And so I ignore like 99% of what I get, right? So I'm not in the business of making things up or going by this he said, she said, without having some sort of credibility there. Now, over the holiday break, I did receive an email that was a little different than the rest of the ones that I received. and it was claiming to be someone who was Jasper's former best friend slash ex-girlfriend. And again, I'm approaching this with caution, right? This could be a guy in the Philippines who's just trying to stir things up with Jasper. And so I'm approaching this with caution. And so I get the initial email and I'm skeptical. But I do end up responding to the email. And I say, I really would like some ways of verifying at least who you are who you say you are, and that you're not just, some random person trying to stir something up. So this person sent me a few pictures that are not publicly available, right? These are not things that Jasper has shared on YouTube. There's no way of finding them online. So that was the first, step in the right direction here to verifying that this person actually knows him. So I went a step further. I wanted to verify that this wasn't just pulled from somewhere. I really want to vet to make sure that things are on the up and up. So I did some forensics on the images that were sent. So what did I find? First thing, these images had metadata that are natively stripped when you upload to a social media website like Facebook, Instagram, these things, that still had the actual device that the image was taken on, and it had GPS coordinates, which again are natively stripped when you upload it to protect the privacy of the user. Number 2, these coordinates resolve to the Los Angeles area, which is exactly where she had said that these were taken. This was a trip that the two of them had taken to the Los Angeles area, several parts of Los Angeles. So in summary, this person has access to original images taken in Los Angeles that were not uploaded to social media. The likelihood of this person being legitimate is overwhelmingly that this person is who they say they are. Now that we've established credibility, let's hear a little bit more of what she has to say. And please do note, I am taking pieces of this, we'll call it a conversation, right? I am taking pieces of this, and there are things in between that are being cut. I'm trying to provide as much context as possible. I'm also trying to remain as transparent as possible through this entire thing. Also, she's going to mention number 6 in this clip. She may mention numbers throughout the course of this. It's because I asked her a series of questions and just numbered them, and that's what she's referring to. The question that I asked, that is number 6, quote unquote, is, I'm curious as to your relationship with Jasper. You guys were friends. What exactly led to this falling out?
Unfortunately, my attitude with my relationship with Jasper, which I guess kind of leads into number 6, is that I have been more than willing to entertain and tolerate a lot of his less desirable qualities, shall we say, when it was just he and I. And when I felt that was, only affecting me. And so, I could deal with it. I could deal with his sort of, disgusting worldview when it came to how it affected me. But then finding out that he had, or potentially has, or whatever, has some sort of girlfriend, and then was still FaceTiming me, asking me for sexual favors and things like that, really took the, repugnance to a new level, and I was just disgusted and angry, because the last thing that I want to be is a tool to hurt another person, innocent party, and whatever, maybe she's not, whatever, but again, she didn't, as far as that goes, I never want to be involved, with someone who's actively cheating on someone else, real or imagined. But yeah, so I don't know anything about her. It was just that I had that sexual FaceTime with Jasper, and then he hung up on me. I did some research because I was feeling sort of dissatisfied and was curious, I'm like, well, what is he doing? Like, that's what I found out. Oh, he's going live, on his, YouTube, and he has this whole channel. and everything, which, and that's when I found out that he had this, alleged girlfriend. So, yeah. So, anyway, so I guess that is kind of going into number 6. So, yes, we were friends. We, at one point, considered each other best friends. Our relationship was very unorthodox. Nonetheless, it was what I would consider a close relationship. There were times and things that Jasper said that I really appreciated, and of course other things that I did not.
I have this ongoing assertion that Jasper is an unreliable narrator, that a lot of what he says is not true. And in this instance, he's either being dishonest to this, wonderful Filipina that he continuously is making all of this content about, and talking about how he's got such an amazing elite Filipina, how attractive she is. And either he's not being faithful to her and lying to her about it, or he's lying to his audience about her existence in order to use this as some sort of ego boost to make him seem more successful than he is, to lend himself an extra credential to say, look, I came to the Philippines and I have this amazingly hot, successful, rich Filipina, and you can too. For the low price of $90 for a consultation, you can come here and escape the West and why the dating there is just not working anymore. And basically, he's trying to prey on the loneliness of his audience. He's trying to hook people in and describe what a terrible situation the West is in, and how you can escape that and escape the matrix and escape these Western women in the dating scene. And you can come to the Philippines and you can live in a castle and you can have these elite, amazing Filipino women, your dream woman. And look what he's done. And he's done it at 47. And you can do it too. For the low price of $90, you can get a consultation and start your journey. And so this is all advertising for him, and it's being disingenuous. It's him lying about it, and it's all for clicks. It's all for money. That's all that's happening here. And he is not above just straight up lying to either you or apparently this wonderful girl that he has met and he is with now. He has no problem lying to advance his own interests. So as always, I am warning you against taking anything that Jasper has to say seriously. He likes to make content about things that he doesn't actually have experience with. He is now making content about province life versus city life. He's never lived in the province. He's never lived in a rural area before, but he's still going to tell you what it's like to live out there somehow. He's been releasing content about long-distance relationships with Filipinas. Literally never been in a long-distance relationship with Filipinas.
He really, really, really struggled as far as maintaining any sort of significant relationship with anyone, family, friends, girlfriends, anything like that. And especially, in terms of having any sort of meaningful, romantic, or intimate relationship, he just couldn't. He did not enjoy, or does not enjoy, any sort of compromise, as you were saying, with not tolerating any sort of other opinion or information. He's just very against that. It's his way or the highway, make way for the king, or, you're either with him or you're against him, and unfortunately that's totally in keeping with his mentality and this stereotypical idea of, some sort of, Eastern, fantasy. It's just, I don't know. It really is off-putting, and just inaccurate, you know. Everyone is different, and I don't know. But yeah, I think that's why he enjoys younger women. He likes vulnerable women, or those that he perceives as being vulnerable. Anyone that he feels that he, you know, is going to have the upper hand over, you know, whether or a woman from another country, you know, that he feels that he can take advantage of. It's just whoever he might perceive as being sort of an easy target is who he's going to go after, and anyone who dares to disagree with him or stand up to him, or you know, have some self-worth, if they can, you know, if they're, you know, in a position in which they feel safe, you know, voicing their opinion or whatever, you know, is automatically deemed as masculine and, you know, unattractive, whatever, which again is just very disappointing.
I'll end by saying I think the last clip there, it doesn't just apply to women, right? I think with his channel, he is not just, you know, taking advantage of women. I think that he is taking advantage of men who may be lonely in the U.S. Or in other Western countries, who may feel out of place, who may not be happy with their lives. And he's painting a picture for them to see, like, oh, I can totally have it much better. And in reality, Jasper's life is not that glamorous. Living out in the Philippines has its, you know, drawbacks that are not covered by Jasper's channel. He's not going to talk to you about all the negatives associated with this. He's going to sort of make his life look much more glamorous than it is, make everything seem like it's great, and try and get you to pay him for advice on how to do it. And so he's taking advantage of vulnerable people to try and make money for himself. So I'll leave it there. I have more audio that cover a lot of different topics that I may or may not make videos using. Some of it's personal stuff for Jasper. Some of it is, you know, channel related or can be attributed to his channel. So we'll see. I'll maybe go through some stuff. If there ends up being a topic that the audio can supplement, then that will be great. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Hopefully this has given you a little bit more of an idea of what Jasper is doing and why he probably should not be trusted when giving information.
I even spoke with her on the phone, and she was like explaining to me the rules and that, you know, there'd be nothing happening right away and there's multiple dates to evaluate my beauty and stuff. And I said, negative. I'm not, a woman knows within a half a second of meeting a man if he's qualified to sleep with her, be her husband, boyfriend, etc., etc.
Imagine being so insecure with yourself that you disqualify a woman because she says, hey, you know, I'm not going to sleep with you on the first date. I'd like to go out a few times just so I can understand who you are. And him explaining this as, well, a woman knows within half a second whether or not she wants to make this man her husband. So this is what a normal woman would be like. What a ridiculous statement to make. Is this what you think a normal relationship is, Jasper? That you automatically disqualify women? Imagine the women that this guy must have been dating before. You're going to want to get to know me? You want to know me before we sleep together? Oh no, I'm not going to make it. You better make snap decisions with me because my personality is so bad that anything longer than a date or two, you're going to realize that I'm not worth sleeping with. I'm not worth dating. So we better get this done on the first date. I better try and rope you in as quickly as possible, or we're not even gonna date because I'm not gonna waste my time.
I never in a million years. I'm not that type of guy, you know. Again, there's no evaluation period. It's either there or it's not, and I'm not gonna meet you, but it's nice being your little pen pal or texting with you, or we talked on the phone once or twice or whatever. And then it was early October, so a little over 3 months ago, right before my birthday, and we were talking on the phone or something, and I actually was trying to get rid of her. So I was like, let me get rid of this girl, and I was just a bit rude to her and this and that. And she weathered the storm of my rudeness with text messages and talking, and ended up just saying, are you gonna meet me or not? You know, and I'm like, okay.
Wait a minute. So your high value elite Filipina just took like verbal abuse from you. You were not going to be nice to her, and so because she's so high value, she just put up with that. Is that what you're trying to convey here? And that you were trying to get rid of her, but the fact that you could verbally abuse her and she wouldn't go away, and you've complained before that Filipinas are clingy, but the fact that you could just treat her like shit and she wouldn't go away, suddenly now, oh, I'm interested to meet now. Like, oh, okay, like I better get on this.
So normally what I do is I meet girls at Starbucks, but I knew me and this girl had a connection, and I had a strong feeling things would go my way. So I said, you know what, not only am I gonna meet you, because she's like, oh, we'll just meet somewhere near your house or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I said, you know what, not only will I meet her, but I'm gonna skip the whole Starbucks formality. I need to get something to eat anyway, so I'm gonna have her meet me at this sushi spot across from Tryon Towers where I was living.
So you think it's a power move to bring her on a full-fledged date the first time? Is this what you're trying to convey? Oh man, well I was hungry anyway, so I'm gonna skip the whole Starbucks and take her to a sushi dinner or sushi lunch. Okay. Like that's some type of like power move that you're like, yeah, you know, I'm a real man. I skipped that Starbucks formality.
And for a month or whatever in BGC. So I met her over there, and wouldn't you know it, there isn't 7 dates necessary like she was making these other guys jump through hoops of. It's either there or it's not. If you're either physically attracted to someone and you like their personality, you can tell upon sight if they're qualified physically, and then give a guy 30 minutes of speaking and a girl will know if he's, saying the right things or she's feeling the vibe or not. So
all this is Jasper going, hey guys, I'm awesome. Did you guys know that? I'm awesome. This is him in a roundabout way trying to brag about himself. It's just, guys, I'm awesome. Did you know that? I got this girl. It didn't take 7 dates to get her into bed. I knew it. The insecurity here is so apparent. The fact that this has been such a pattern of behavior that he constantly has to try and talk himself up in these roundabout ways. He doesn't, and when he's not directly talking about how amazing he is, he's crafting these narratives to try and make it seem like he has all of this validation, all of this approval from someone else out in the ether, that this high-level Filipina approves of him, and he's got to put this out there on the internet for people to hear, because he's so insecure that he has to either make it up, or he literally has to come on here to talk about how amazing this girl thought he was, that I didn't have to wait for 7 days. It took me 30 minutes. She got a good look of this guy, and boy, it was over. What a joke.
That's what happened, and we've been together ever since. That was, over 3 months ago, but definitely take your time. The moral of that story is it took me a year, and there was many, 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 many opportunities.
Did you guys hear that? Many, 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 many opportunities that this guy had. He wants you to know he had many, 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 many opportunities. Just so you guys know. I just got to reiterate that for you guys. Many, many opportunities.
But one thing I didn't want to do was be a financier of someone's family, or even be a financier of a woman. Am I a gentleman? Do I usually pay for dinner or pay for, more if I can or whatever? Certainly. But does she pay for things? Yes, she does. So that's a good metric, as I said in another video, of if a woman's genuinely attracted to you, is if she's paying for things or she's trying to save you money. But in the end, I just was sick of the West, and you got to have the nuts to get on that airplane and get out. And then when you get here, you got to be picky. you are the prize in Southeast Asia. There will be a lot of options that you could never dream of in the West, but you have to understand that, you know, doctors and lawyers out here make around the $2,000 a month mark. So if you're, I don't know, you got some money in the bank or you get $2,000 a month, you're on that level. So just so you know. So it's definitely something to take into consideration. Abundance mindset. Don't go with the scarcity mindset. You're not in the West anymore. Many people that I've done consultations with or that are in my live stream community didn't believe me and ended up, you know, handcuffed at the airport to somebody and then regretting that decision. Whether you meet someone at the airport, I wish you well with that, or you do like I did and you stay single for a year. It could be a bit lonely, but it's always better to never settle and hold out for someone that checks all your boxes, which is exactly what I did.
If this woman checks all of your boxes, why are you looking externally for sexual relationships with other people? Why is that even happening?
So while I can't lead you directly to a high-earning Western salary, you know, Miss Universe Filipina, I can tell you how I did it. And that's about all I got.
And this is it. This is the plug right here, guys. So, I can't lead you to what I got, but I can give you advice and I can help you. You know, I can maybe help you and you can have a chance at what I got. So, and then he pins this comment, which is probably from his own, one of his own many accounts that he's been using to bot, to view his own videos or to spam my channel, as many of you have seen. But this is the end result right here. This is where he is pushing, like, oh, consultations, guys, pay me money and you might have a chance at this fantasy that I just portrayed to you, this fake life that I'm saying that I live. Yeah, if you talk to me, you could totally have it too. That's all it is, guys. It's an ad. This is a long ad read for himself, and it's almost all dishonest. And then, of course, you have his minion Todd. If this video doesn't make a guy get on a plane to the Philippines for a discovery trip, nothing will. Basically pushing everyone, oh, well, you don't want to get on the plane unprepared, do you? You should probably pay for a consultation. Jasper will help you. He'll help guide you. That's all this is. It's all an ad. And he's got people helping him. All right, that's all I have for you guys. I've smashed two videos together just because they had so much to do with one another. I think it's pretty apparent that Jasper's either lying about having this girl or he's already cheated on her. If I had to give my opinion on this, I don't think she exists. I think that Jasper's using this as a marketing tool to make himself look more successful here, to drive, you know, people toward consultations. He just increased his consultation prices, and I think he's looking for ways to make money. But if she does exist, either, you know, she's not checking all the boxes and he's lying about that, or, I mean, he's seeking sexual relationships outside of the relationship that he currently has. So he's already cheated on her. It's been, 3 months is what he said. So he couldn't even keep it together. He said he waited for a year and then finally got a girlfriend here. And he was so picky and she finally met his standards. But, I mean, all signs point to her just not existing. The fact that he's calling his friend to try and, you know, get off from thousands of miles away, it says he's probably not with this girl. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and talk to you real soon.